Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you're watching from. This is I Am Sure Sports, and I am Omar Stennett, and they call me Man is Man. Welcome back to the channel, people. So good to have you. We are back again. Yeah, for another good one. This is our Friday Big Bangers. Every Friday at 12:30, we release these videos covering sporting topics and event globally. You hear that? Globally. Right, and they are aired on Irie Times TV and on our Facebook platform, I Am Sure Sports, and on our YouTube channel, I Am Sure Sports. So make sure, if you have not yet, you subscribe to the channel. Listen, people, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the share button. And if there's any way you think we can make our content better, please drop a comment, and so we will read it. And trust me, when we read it, we oftentimes respond to it. So bless up again. We have a good one lined up for you, but before I get into it, let me say a big up to all the persons who have helped us to successfully surpass 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for all your subscription. We really appreciate it, and we thank you. It's really a great joy. It's a lot of hard work, dedicated work, and commitment and sacrifice, but guess what? Hey, it's working, and we're delighted that you get to join us in what we are doing. Also want to big up nurses, doctors, firemen, police officers, hospital administrators, all of you people out there who are doing the vaccines and helping in that whole process. All the essential workers. In fact, we want to say big thank you to you for all the work that you're doing to help keep us as we go through this pandemic. And I want to encourage us, Jamaica, let's just come together and fight this thing together so we can get past it and get back to a better life. Not life as what it used to be, but a better life, right? Better life and better liberty for us and generations to come. This too shall pass. That's not in the Bible, but it is very good. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. You understand me? Yeah, it not in that context in the Bible. I know you know that I'm a pastor, and you're saying, what am I talking about? All right, so let's jump into our content for today. People, guess what? The NFL is back. Yes, and Tom Shady. Why I keep getting his name wrong? Tom Brady is back at it again. Listen, Tom Brady is a top quality quarterback. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they look good. They played against the Dallas Cowboys in the opening fixture on Thursday, and it was a very close game. Dak Prescott and his team did well, but Tom Brady, you can't give Brady any time on the clock at the end of the game, because he's going to get downfield in field goal position, score a touchdown. He's going to find a way to score. So when you're playing against Brady and you have the lead, do everything you can to run that clock down to zeros, or else you will be in trouble. But kudos to Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's a very, very good quarterback. Again, you may have issues with some things that are surrounded his name and his playing career, but when you look at the raw stats and all the things that he has accomplished, you will realize that he is the best. He's in that. He's a Hall of Famer. He's right there at the top, and very few quarterbacks you could place above him in terms of Super Bowl wins. And you may knock him for how he operates in the regular season, but when he gets to the playoff, when he gets to that Super Bowl, he wins, right? But you know that I'm picking the New York Giants are my heart team, but my head team is the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Kansas City Chiefs were the team that played against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the last Super Bowl. And they defeated the Kansas City Chiefs, who had several injuries, no excuses. And the coach, son was in an accident. So all of those things affected Kansas City Chiefs. But now, right now, everything is back to normal. Patrick Mahomes, the second. He's a very good young quarterback. One of the better young quarterbacks out there. And trust me, people, if he gets to the Super Bowl, I'm picking them for the Super Bowl. And I'm picking Patrick Mahomes to win again. 3 finals in a row. And he's going to be 2-1. I am sure. This is not guesswork. This is sure work. And I am the I am sure boss. No matter you're saying, well, you said you were sure in the Super Bowl and you said if they lost, you'd have stuffed your face with a pie. I'm still waiting on the pie. The person is not brave enough to bring the pie to me. If you want to, you can bring the pie and I'll stuff it in my face on the next video I do after I get the pie from you. But me, I'm not buying the pie. You must buy the pie if you want to see the pie in my face. I keep my word. Yeah? All right, so let's jump over to another form of football. This is real football, soccer. Real football, all right? So in real football, the JPL is again very hot. The JPL is the Jamaica Premier League. And guess what? We are in the playoffs and the teams have been decided. Let me give you them. In the number 1 position, topping the table, number 1 position is Waterhouse. They top the table. Second position on the table is Cavaliers. Third position is Mount Pleasant. Fourth position is Vere. Fourth position is Tivoli. Fifth position Vere. And in 6th position is Harborview. So how does the playoff seeding work? Very simple. The first 2 teams are automatically in the semifinals. They go straight. That's the benefit of finishing in the top 2. You get to go straight into the semifinals. So the other 4 teams out of the 6 will have a playoff to see who join the team in spot number 1 and spot number 2. So this weekend, Mount Pleasant, the 3rd place team, will play the 6th place team. Harborview and the 4th place team, Tivoli Gardens, will play the 5th place team, Vere, and the winners will go into the semifinals joining Waterhouse and Cavaliers. What that means is simple as this. All right, the winner of the 3 versus 6, that is the Mount Pleasant versus Harborview game, will play Waterhouse, and the winner of the 4 versus 5 will play the 2nd place team, that is Cavaliers. So here are my picks. I am sure that Mount Pleasant is going to get the better of Harborview. And I am sure that Tivoli Gardens are going to get the better of Vere. So what that means is that Tivoli Gardens will play against Cavaliers and Waterhouse will play against Mount Pleasant in the semi-finals. I am sure. Yes. Now, I am sure that come the final, based on how the games panned out in the regular season, Cavaliers are going to get the upper hand against Tivoli Gardens. Why? Because the game that they played, Cavaliers had the lead, playing with 10 men into the final seconds of added time, when the keeper made an error and Tivoli equalized. Therefore, I am picking Cavaliers to defeat Tivoli and get into the finals. I am sure. I am also sure that in the second game, where Mount Pleasant goes up against Waterhouse, that this is going to be a humdinger of a battle. This is going to be a battle of battles, because I believe these should be the 2 finalists, because they have been the 2 good teams from the abrupted season. Yeah. But for this game, as you know, Waterhouse has lost Ken Roy Howell, who has gone overseas. Therefore, people, Don't worry about it. Seriously, Waterhouse have ample replacement. But since this new coach, Wally Downs, have come to Mount Pleasant, he has been having the team playing very well. And so this is a very tight game to call. But Waterhouse has struggled against Mount Pleasant in the last 3 seasons. From the time Mount Pleasant got promoted, I think Waterhouse has had 1 victory over them. And that is in their last encounter, where Waterhouse won by 2-0. Therefore, based on the record, I think Mount Pleasant will win by 2-1. They are going to concede, and Waterhouse is going to score because they are a well-coached team by coach Gayle. But I think Mount Pleasant has enough quality in midfield and defense to hold them off. I think the weakest part of Waterhouse's game is their defending, not their defenders. I think they are individually good defenders, but as a team, I don't think they defend very well. And I think the team defense of Mount Pleasant is going to come out and do well. And they do have persons who can score goals. So I am giving Mount Pleasant the edge, 2-1. What that means is that we'll set up a final with Mount Pleasant and Cavaliers. And when we get there, I am sure I'll be able to predict who the winners are. Listen, if you ask me which team you're most disappointed in and which team you're most surprised by, the most disappointing team for me in this season is Dunbeholden. Dunbeholden, I mean, they recruited heavily. Dunbeholden. Yeah, so Dunbeholden to me is one of those teams that really disappointed me this season. And that may have been due to the fact that they had a coaching change mid-season, but they recruited extensively. I think even when they got down to the last few games in the league, you realize that even a Fabian McCarthy, I don't know how they were able to pull that off, but they were able to pull off even the signing of a Fabian McCarthy, who played for Waterhouse in the CONCACAF Champions League that they had. So that was very interesting, and I think some of those changes kind of affected them. I also heard from my birds, if you're familiar with I Am Sure Sports, you know that I have 3 birds that normally come and give me information. I understand that once the players saw that they were bordering on qualifying for the playoffs, they started asking for bonuses, and that may have caused a disunity in the camp and with management and affected them, and they fell out. So very disappointed in them. Also disappointed in Humble Lion, because if you remember when the season ended abruptly, Humble Lion were up there. They would have qualified for the playoffs, and oh, how the mighty has fallen. I mean, finishing at the bottom of the table, very, very disappointing. I know there were complaints by Coach Price about how late they were able to begin, but even after several weeks, when players would have regained fitness, they just never looked like they were going to offer much in the league. And I think their team on a whole was too old for this competition. And so I expect household changes coming into going into the next season. All right, so the team that surprised me the most, I would say, is the Veer team, because to be honest with you, Veer would have been relegated from the league if all things were being equal, because they finished at the bottom of the table, and Huey and Veer could have been out if the same format and stuff were kept, but they were kept in the league, and so I expected them to struggle. I know that they didn't buy a lot of players, except they got Kadeem Davis and Campbell from Mount Pleasant and Ricardo Dennis as well. But they surprised me. They got a good coach as well, which would have made a huge difference. And they even led the league, and at one point it looked like they would have automatically qualified for the semi-final. But what you have is that when you don't have a good enough squad, sometimes it takes a toll on you. When injuries and cards started to creep in, the team looked weaker and weaker and weaker. And you saw that at the back end of the season. They fell off form, they finished down in 5th, and they have a very tough game against Tivoli Gardens. But that's the surprise team for me. I'm also surprised by Tivoli Gardens. Tivoli Gardens at the start of the season, they look very shaky, they look very old, they look very unfit, they look disorganized. But Coach Phillips got them rolling and moving like a mean machine. You saw the likes of Barrington Price, their captain and centre back, having a very good season. Then Pennycook, their Garrison, Kemar Fleming, Horatio Morgan, Teddy Johnson. I mean, very, very good team. Harry Garnett in midfield. So they really surprised me, because when I look at their first game to how they look in their last couple of games, it's a massive improvement. So kudos to the Tivoli Gardens team. They have also some good young players that they have blended in with the senior players that they have, and I could see them posing serious challenges even next season if they keep on growing and developing throughout the season. You have standout players in the league like Kimani Campbell of Waterhouse, Zemines of Harborview, young player who came on, Akwasa Chang. You have Shaquille Bradford of Waterhouse. You have Prince Christie of Mount Pleasant. These are some young players. Busy Atkinson of Cavaliers. You have Guthrie of Arnett Gardens. These are some young players that really look well. Horatio Morgan also of Tivoli Gardens. I must mention him. Ricardo Dennis and Neil of Veer have really, Lamar Neal and Ricardo Dennis of Veer, they have even, I think, resuscitated their careers. They really look good this season, and I'm looking forward to more from these players. Andrew Vanzi of Humble Lion really stepped up. We saw some good goalkeeping as well from the likes of Kadeem Davis. You also have Dennis Taylor showing his national class. You know, when you look at the overseas players who came in and blended in the competition, you had the Guyanese at Mount Pleasant with Akiel Clark and Kevin Lane, and then you have out in Portmore, you had their centre forward McFarlane, who is Guyanese, and also Doxley, who is from St. Lucia. Then you have not Doxley, but Mayers from Portmore, who's from St. Lucia, and then you have Doxley from Cavaliers, who is from St. Lucia. So you have Tyrese and Williams at Harborview from Trinidad and Tobago, and you have the Caymanian down in Tivoli Gardens. So it was also good to see Caribbean nations represented in the league. And like I said, the coaching was excellent in terms of how the teams were set up and organized by the different coaches. Very, very good look for the league this season. Yeah, so like I said, that's the JPL, a little overview, review of it this season. But I want to jump into something that is bothering I Am Sure Sports. I am sure that this West Indies T20 team that was selected on the grounds of friendship and relationship, and not based on previous rules applied by the selectors. The team gave exemptions to certain players who had physical ailment, injuries, however you want to see it. But other players who were performing better failed a fitness test, because those who are performing better than their counterparts, they were never given any exemption. So, if you look at the team, you have your likes of your Chris Gayle. Does he warrant a spot in this team? And on what merit? Dwayne Bravo, does he warrant a spot in this team? And on what merit? Darren Bravo, does he warrant a spot in this team? And on what merit? need to wipe off my face because I'm going to get really, really cross, angry, and miserable. Now, on what premise was the team selected? Because as far as I know, it's a T20 competition. And the one that is going on right now that we should look at is the CPL. And in the CPL, the two bowlers are two of the top West Indian, because you have other nationalities in it. Two of the top West Indian bowlers don't make the team. Not only did these two bowlers bowl well, they also scored runs. Romario Shepherd and Oshane Thomas. This is not Oshane Thomas' first good season. And he gets no place in the team over Oshane Thomas. Let me ask you, when last has Oshane Thomas played a game and did well in T20 for the West Indies? Somebody please tell me. He's not bowling faster right now than Oshane Thomas. He's not bowling better right now than Oshane Thomas. He's not feeling better right now than Oshane Thomas. He doesn't look better physically than Oshane Thomas. He's not conditioned as good as Oshane Thomas. Oshane Thomas is better in the field. Oshane Thomas is better bowling. Oshane Thomas is better batting. But yet, Oshane Thomas makes a team over him. Same thing with Romario Shepherd of the Guyana Amazon Warriors. What has Cottrell done? Cottrell struggled in the league, struggled in the IPL. What's going on? Darren Bravo. Darren Bravo has been... Listen, people remember, Darren Bravo was not even included in the West Indies one-day test squad for any other games, though he was part of the team. He struggled for the Trinbago Knight Riders in the CPL. Shafrain Rutherford has batted better than him. In all the competitions that he has participated in. Remember, Darren Bravo doesn't play any other competition, CPL competition. Well, at least that I know of. But on what merit is he in this team? You want to tell me that is not a friend thing? Obviously it is. Obviously it is. It is based on their relationship with other players in the team why they are selected. Because this team certainly was not selected based on players' performance. Let's be real and let's be honest. Now, I will say to the selectors, I have no problem if your criteria is we won't select based on performance, but we'll select who we like or who have relationship with who. I hope though that when these set of friends are out, you don't change your criteria for selection. What has Jason Holder done to be in the reserves? People, I cannot get it. Now, maybe some of you are saying, what if they go and do well? Listen, the means don't justify the end. Not because they go and do well, mean that they were right to doing the wrong thing to do well. It would be like me saying, well, I just fed my kids the $10 million that I kill a family and steal. It don't make any sense. The means don't justify the ends. You can't do the wrong thing and then celebrate because you got the right result. That's unethical and immoral. West Indies selectors. You know what is funny too? If you listen, people, I am sure sports people. I challenge you. Look at what Mr. Roger Harper says. Write it down, record it. Go back to a player called Rakeem Cornwall and listen what they said. Go back to what they said about Shimron Hetmyer when he was excluded. You see, the truth is that these guys adjust the rules to fit their decisions. They don't adjust their decisions. They adjust rules. That is the problem with West Indies cricket. West Indies cricket is not the kind of cricket where the rules are kept. No. The rules are changed so it can satisfy a decision that I want to make. Will the team do well? I hope so. But do I believe so? Certainly not. We are too old and too injured. Too old and too injured. And what we have done, we have selected best friends and good friends instead of our best players. And we will pay dearly. You mark my words for this. Now, imagine with me, my people, Lendl Simmons, the Shafin Rutherford decide that the next time the West Indies call me, I'm going to play IPL or play in the Canadian Premier League or the Pakistan Premier League or the Sri Lankan Premier League, whatever it is. You know what we are going to say? That these players have no desire. They don't love West Indies cricket. What you must ask yourself is, does West Indies cricket love the players? Because if the players were told to perform and you'll be in and they perform and they are still overlooked, does West Indies cricket love the players? See, I am sure until we have integrity in our selection system that we will not have success in our cricket. Players must be selected based on their performance. And if you give one player exemption, all players should be afforded that exemption. It cannot be that we set the test for one person to pass it, but give a next person a test for them to fail. It is immoral and it is unethical. I challenge the chairman of selectors and his board of selectors to be open and honest and transparent in your selection policy. I want you to clearly come and tell us why Darren Bravo was selected over Rutherford. Why Sheldon Cottrell, who is a Jamaican and Irish, and Oshane Thomas, who is a Jamaican and Irish, were selected over Lendl Simmons and over Romario Shepherd. What was the reasoning behind it? What led to those decisions? Honestly. You see, because if you're transparent and open, you build your credibility. People will be able to trust you. But right now, your trust level, or our trust level of you, is at an all-time low. Because obviously, you change the rules to fit the decisions that you make, instead of keeping the rules and adjusting your decisions. I am sure that this West Indies team will not make it past the first round in the T20 World Cup. I want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. Again, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. We want to go to 2,000 subscribers. That's the next goal. And we want you to be a part of that. So hit the subscribe button, like, and share this video. Tell someone about us. Tell them that we provide good sporting content. All sports, from swimming, track and field, NFL, NBA, soccer, cricket, netball, Chinese skipping, hopscotch, ludo, draft, chess. If it's a sport, we won't speak about it. Enjoy the rest of your day and stay safe. Remember, social distance, wear your mask, and sanitize. I am sure if we do that, we will get past this in short order. And